Yeah, so YMCA, Gainesboro
is.
YMCA.
Excellent. That's great. Take care.
Well, you too.
Good afternoon and welcome. It's great to see so many guests here today. This is the biggest week of the year for our Kiwanis Club. We have meeting today, prayer breakfast in the morning, and then of course K-Pad starting Friday with setup and Saturday with throwing pancakes at people. And it's really good that the guests are here today because some of you are going to get a check today, and it will give you some insight as to where the money's coming from. So we're awfully glad that you're here, and we're awfully grateful. Oh, John's got tickets to sell. I also look around the room and I see some of our sponsors here today as well. Thank you all for your support. Today, our call for introspection is going to be done by Dave Spangler, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be Joyce Montgomery, and Harry Zuloff will introduce our guests. There's Dave.
I don't want you to get thrown off by the first few words I'm going to say. My dad died at 95 and a half last year. Guess what? We're all going to do that, 100%. So how do we live our life today and each day while we're still here on earth? Because Dad's in heaven now. But you don't know him. So I'd like to give you some feedback from someone you might know, Dr. Charles Stanley, pastor of First Baptist in Atlanta for 50 plus years. And he wrote 70 books, etc. So here's a quote from Dr. Stanley from his book, A Touch of His Wisdom. All we have, salvation, eternal and physical life, and daily sustenance, comes from the Father above. He made you and me so that we could receive His choicest treasure, our relationship with Him for eternity. Our cheerful response should be to imitate Him. Give up yourself and your possessions to Him and others. Your spirit of generosity will be a fountain of supernatural refreshment to thirsty and needy men and women. We all are going to live each day on this earth, and because of Kiwanis, we can do things not just for family and friends and everything, but for the community as a whole. So think about that.
Thank you, Dave.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
and to the republic
for which it stands,
of
nation under God,
the
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Harry?
Good afternoon. I'm going to announce the visitors. I'd like them to stand, and if you have a sponsor, I'd like the sponsor to stand also. And remain standing so that at the end we can give you a good Kiwani welcome. First is Rachel Jacobs. Where's
Right there.
There you are. Okay. Now, she's from Suburban Park, Maryland, Kiwanis Club. She's been vacationing down at Smith Mountain Lake and said, hey, I'm going to check this club out. So, welcome. My next guest is Bishop M.L. Harvey Senior. And his host is Milton Hardy Jr. Okay. Now, ML, M must be Milton, right? I got that. He's with the Greater Prayer Temple. And he says he's a prospective member. So that sounds good. The next guest is Kimaya Webb from Roanoke City Public Schools. Her sponsor today is Stephanie Moon. And Stephanie says that she's a senior, I think. And she's shadowing Stephanie. I don't know how she's doing that. I mean, how do you, anyway, well, welcome. And then last is Randy Myers. And Randy is a prospective new member. Application is in. So Randy, where are you? Right there he is. So welcome everybody. Okay?
I also noticed that Steve McGraw, since retirement's kind of let himself go a little bit. Get a little bit closer to the razor. Is that what it is? Life of a civil servant. As I said in my opening remarks, this is KPAD week, so I'll ask Micah Bracta to come forward and kick it off. Oh, before you start, I have a new member induction. I should have looked at this. You do. This thing here. It would have been much more helpful if I just read the instruction, which my wife says all the time.
Thank you, President Ben. One of the nicest things we can do as Kiwanians is to invite a guest to one of our club meetings. A neighbor, a co-worker, a friend, a family member, a stranger on the street. Although I don't think this person is a stranger to Kevin Reeder. Kevin Reeder is sponsoring Keith Hartman today, and that's sharing the K. So I'd like Keith and Kevin to please come forward. And they're not friends because they're sitting at opposite ends of the room, I guess. Kevin, will you introduce Keith, please?
I'll be short and sweet, but Mr. Keith Hartman, I met originally when he came to Roanoke and was the director of the Small Business Development Center. And as I'm a banker, I thought it'd be a good idea to get to know Keith. And he was very receptive, and ever since then, he has been a part of the Roanoke Valley community. He's currently regional director for the Virginia Council of CEOs chapter here locally. So very involved in the business community and the community at large. He's also a member of the Lions Club, is that correct, over in Nevada? And wanted to be able to see the Kiwanis Club and be a part of the community. He jumped in immediately, had his application ready, and also has been a very integral part of, I know, of his team and helping to raise funds for KPAD. So I think it's going to be a fantastic member of our club. So I'm glad that he's here. Glad he's been introduced.
Very good. All right, good. Thanks, Kevin. Keith, you all turn and face me. Keith, we're thrilled that you've chosen to join the Kiwanis Club of Roanoke. We look forward to working with you on service projects. We have a lot of things, a lot of activities, and I think you're going to fit right in. I know you will. I have a little something for you as part of our initiation. And usually I get some work gloves because we do a lot of good deeds and works. But since we have KPAD on Saturday, I've got some gloves that are going to come in handy on Saturday when you flip in handies. And when you put those gloves on, I want you to think about with your little finger, when you put in those gloves, I want you to think about the big things we do for the less fortunate. And your ring finger will signify the circle of friends that you're going to make in this club and through our service projects. Our middle finger stands above the others on our hand, just like this Kiwanis Club stands above other service organizations in Roanoke Valley. We're really glad that you chose to join us. Our index finger points the way to a better community through our service projects. And when we finish those projects, we give a thumbs up. Right? Okay. So I want you to think about that And we welcome you to the Kiwanis Club. I've got a bag for you that has a lot of swag in it, your new member badge, your Kiwanis pin. It has a directory in here. And there's also some information about a 501c3 foundation which supports the service budget of this club. And we hope that you will consider supporting our Kiwanis Foundation. Let's all stand and put our fingers and hands together and welcome Keith Hartman. Thank you.
So two things. Michael Braca, it's the best thing I can tell you right now. We're gonna have Stephanie and Mike come up in a minute. They're gonna give you the K-Pad ticket sales report. But your job right now is to watch a 1-minute video. At the end of that video, you're gonna give a huge round of applause for the people that are mentioned in that video, right? We understand the marching order. Great, now we just wait for the screen to come alive. Oh, by the way, while you wait for that, Harry asked me to mention something to you. He didn't mention it, it's up here. He said on Friday, or on Saturday, when you show up to volunteer for K-Pad, there are going to be 3 things that you're going to cherish. One is the wristband all volunteers are going to wear. 2 is the hat you're going to bring to wear, or the head that will give you to wear. And what's the 3rd thing? What do you like? Kiwanis shirt. So everyone at the Bergland Civic Center knows who we are. All right. So there are a lot of volunteers. I've been counting, Harry's been counting. We're depending on you to make this success, but there are 3 volunteers that I'm going to call out right now. More. More innovation in the kitchen. More planning to handle the serve. Big serve. I wonder if we need bigger plates. I also wonder what else is going to be different this year. Lucky for us, operations are in the hands of experienced experts. Let's give a round for those 3 volunteers. My thanks ahead of time for the success you're going to have, and thanks ahead of time to the rest of you who volunteer. So it is pretty exciting. Many of us are going to be there on Friday setting up. Thank you in advance for that, and then many more of us will be there Saturday running the show. And I got a bit of experience with important events like this, K-Pad or whatnot. And the term deadline comes up. You know, we got a deadline. Saturday we're running the show. That's our deadline, right? And you know where that term comes from? Deadline? Civil War. Back in the Civil War, if you were a captured enemy soldier, you were asked to stand in one location, typically next to a tree. They draw a circle around the tree, the dirt. If you stepped over the circle, that was your deadline. Because that's what happened to you next. Well, we're not doing deadlines as much as we are serving lines. So get the transition. Serving lines. And we're not just serving pancakes, are we? We are serving up Roanoke Kiwanis. We are serving up our reputation. We're serving up everything about this club that would attract new members to pay attention to us. So, with that, let's go to our ticket sales report.
Good afternoon, Kiwanis. Yes. Okay, let's try it again. Good afternoon, Kiwanis. For our guests who just and as Mike said, I'm Mike McAvoy and Stephanie Reynolds, and we are the co-chairs for ticket sales. And we had a goal for our guests that are here. We had a goal of selling $40,000 in tickets, and we are really close to that goal. In fact, today I'm happy to announce that we are at 94% of our goal, or 37,580. So really close, and that doesn't include the turn-in we had today. So I feel like we're going to be over our 40,000 goal. So Stephanie's going to read the individual leaders that turned in today, and I'll talk about the cumulative ones. So Stephanie.
All right, here we go. The top individuals of this week, number one, Don Witt. Behind Don is Andy Stone. Mayor Sherman Lee came in with $350. Frank Longator, $350. Right. President Collins, $300. Lord Amy, although I understand that Lord Amy was out because of a neck injury, he turned in $300. $300. Yours truly, $294. Lois James, $250. Okay. And last is Donna Lynch. He turned in $200. Thank you.
So again, for the benefit of our guests, we're actually running a race through our ticket sales season, and as you can see, Stephanie's out there. And we been calling cumulative leaders our drivers for that. And so I'm going to read 10 back through 1. At 10 spot right now is Vern Danielson at 8:30. David Hartman is at 8:50. Don Witt is at 9:67. Sherry Hartman, 1,050. J.C. Taylor, 1,105. Mike Loveman, 1,156. Andy Stone, 1,220. Eric Danielson at 1,265. Our own president, Ben Spiker, at 2,000. And we have a new leader this week in the cumulative, Rupert Cutler at 2,100. So our top race team for the week is Lois James and the Cape Pads of Thunder at 10,000. Cumulative though, after 7 weeks, still the Intimidators at 9,520, still hanging in there. So again, thank you all for all the effort. We're really close to meeting our goal. If you didn't bring money today, you still have money to turn in. We have 2 more weeks, 2 more Wednesdays. Or John has graciously agreed to take money either Friday or Saturday at Cape Pad. So just show up to volunteer Saturday to cook, bring the rest of your ticket sales, and get us over that 40,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's yeah. So Don's comment there, and I think Ken Briggs, where are you? So Ken made it popular years ago to make sure to tell Kiwanians that it's okay to sell tickets after Saturday. You can continue selling, can even offer a discount. But keep selling those tickets for the next 2 weeks. There, thanks.
That's coming from a guy who sold tickets that were 2 years old last year. I'm going to commence with announcements. As I said, the Interfaith Prayer Breakfast is tomorrow at the Kazem Temples, opening at 6:45 a.m. Our own Sam Rasul is the keynote speaker. The officers will meet tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock in my office. Foundation meets next Wednesday at 11:45 at Cap Trust, which is at 1:45, I'm sorry, at 1:45 at Cap Trust. They're in the Wells Fargo building next door. Kids Fishing Day has been rescheduled for May 13th. Bob, volunteers are hanging on for the 14th, thumbs up. And of course, on the 20th, we have the fun day at Goodwill just around the corner. Don Witt needs a couple of volunteers to help with the Villa Heights landscaping project on May 20. So if you're interested in that, please check out Don Witt. All of these announcements are on our website. All of the Zoom links are connected on the calendar, and I encourage you to go there and check it all out. Today is one of the biggest days in the year for us because we get to invite Steve English up here to begin presenting scholarships to some well-deserving young people. Steve?
Good afternoon and welcome to the Kiwanis Scholarship Awards Luncheon. And I thought I made my print big enough I could maybe see it without readers, but it's not happening. So here we go. So today we're here to honor 6 of Roanoke's top high school students. And we have a lot of guests here today that haven't been introduced already. So I'm gonna try to do that right now. I apologize if I miss anybody. This is kind of a moving target over the last couple of weeks, but I hope I have everyone here. So I'm going to ask when I introduce you, you'll stand at your table and we'll try to hold our applause to the end. So we'll start with the Cave Spring table. Our scholarship winner is Kanan Fetzer. He's joined today with his mother and father, Becky and Andy Fetzer. We have Cave Spring guidance counselor Penny Williams and principal Chuck Parker. Assistant, oh, sorry. At the Hidden Valley table, we have our scholarship winner, Leah Tillman, her mother and father, Deborah and Brian Tillman, Hidden Valley guidance counselor, Molly Raber, superintendent of Roanoke County Schools, Dr. Ken Nicely. At the Roanoke Catholic table, we have scholarship winner Riley Stransky, his mother, Kara Thornley, Roanoke Catholic Dean of Students, Christopher Michael, and Pinnacle Financial Partners Area Manager, Randy Nicely. Great. And we have William Fleming kids spread out all over the room with our guests. This was a seating chart nightmare for me, and I don't think I got it right. So bear with me here. We had 3 winners this year from William Fleming. So, great. So at our first William Fleming table, we have scholarship winner Chris Leanne, scholarship winner Miles Wilson, and his parents Richard and Tracy Wilson, and superintendent of Roanoke City Schools, Dr. Berletta White. I also have, this is an impromptu William Fleming table over here to catch the overflow. We have scholarship winner Hung Lamb, his father Van Lamb, mother Mai Du, and presenting from American National Bank, Kiwanian Sherry Dillon and Lori Baker Lloyd. And then the rest of our William Fleming contingent is over near the door. We have William Fleming Principal Tracy Anderson, College and Career Academic Advisor Jeffrey Allgood, and Roanoke City Chief Academic Officer Archie Freeman. We're so honored that all of you could be here today. Just a little side note, a few of our students actually took the AP English exam this morning. They got done at noon. I hope nobody stressed out over this awards presentation and they focused on that exam. But they did a great job of all getting here today, and really appreciate all the support from the school officials that were able to join us here today, and all the family members who probably took time off of work. That was awesome. So today you're going to see some of the funds that you've been hearing about that we raised during our annual pancake and auction day that's just coming up this Saturday go into good use. This year we're awarding $16,000. There will be 4 $2,000 scholarships, a $3,000 scholarship, and a $5,000 scholarship. The $5,000 scholarship is named the Franklin Scholarship. That's named for Kiwani Stuart Franklin and his wife Margaret, who bequeathed under their wills a significant sum to the Roanoke Kiwanis Foundation, and it's used to fund that award. Our $3,000 scholarship is awarded in memory of Ken Lai. He was one of our scholarship winners in 2006 as a representative of William Fleming High School. Tragically, he was one of the students who died in the massacre at Virginia Tech the following April. So just to tell you a little bit about our selection process. So we start back in January. We ask the counselors at the 7 area high schools that have a key club to advertise the availability of our Kiwanis Scholarship. And the response was very positive, although I was getting a little worried we didn't have any in a week before. But as the father of 3 teenage boys, I should know all kids wait to the last minute, and that's what most of these kids did. I always had a heart attack, but it all turned out. So here we are. 10 members of our scholarship committee read all 30 of those applications and narrowed it down to 6 recipients who are all here today with us. Then another panel of 5 members from the scholarship committee interviewed each of these scholarship winners to choose the ones that will be designated as our Franklin and Ken Lay Award winners. At this time, I'd like to thank all the scholarship committee members who are here today to stand as I read their names. Jackie Bledsoe, Betsy Bohannon, Jean Bollendorf, David Bowers, Judy Clark, Will Dibling, David Farnham, Pegram Johnson, Reef Kessler, Lee Learman, Jenny Lee, Tara Marciniak, Mike McAvoy, Joyce Montgomery, Mike Obrachta, Lee Osborne, Stephanie Moon Reynolds, and Ben Spiker. I had lots and lots of help. Also, I always have help from our Secretary Treasurer, John Montgomery. Thank you all for your help. Hope I didn't miss anybody there. We had a pretty good list. I especially like to thank Pegram Johnson and Jackie Bledsoe. This is my first year on the committee. I'm not so sure why I was asked to lead it, but Jackie Bledsoe and Pegram Johnson are both past chairman of the committee, and they both are probably tired of hearing see my phone pop up on their caller ID or seeing email from me. They were a huge help. And we also like to thank 2 area corporations who are assisting us in honoring these students by financially sponsoring 2 of our scholarships. One of our scholarships is sponsored by American National Bank and will be presented by Lori Baker Lloyd and Sherry Dillon. And another scholarship is sponsored by Pinnacle Financial Partners and will be presented by Randy Nicely. I also want to thank Tom Miller, chairman of our sponsorship committee, for arranging for these scholarships. So now it's time for the good part. Now we're going to meet our scholarship winners. Each will be presented by a scholarship committee member who will give us a brief introduction of his or her student, and then each of our winners will tell us which college they will attend, their career thoughts at this point, and will describe a school or community service project they participated in and tell us why it was meaningful to them. So we'll begin with David Bowers introducing Riley Stransky. Yes, sir. Sure.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to present Riley Stransky. He is a senior at Roanoke Catholic. He was one of those who took the AP English exam earlier today. His grade point average is 4.2. Let's see how many of you better not answer. He's an AP scholar, a National Honor Society member. He's also played 3 years for the Roanoke Catholic football team, 3 years. And it mentioned that his football coach was one of the most important people in his life in helping him mature. He plays lacrosse as well as mountain biking. If you see him on the trails, that would be Riley. He's here with his mom today. And I wanted to also tell you that his application was very impressive, obviously, because he's one of the 6 finalists. He indicated in his interview, when asked, tell us about yourself, 4 or 5 quick words about yourself, he said, organized, hardworking, laid back, caring, never give up. You're gonna get a job somewhere, pal, I can tell you that. As a 1970 recipient of the Kiwanis Scholarship myself, I'm pleased to introduce this nice young man, Riley Stransky, who will be awarded a certificate, a scholarship funds by Randy Nicely of Pinnacle Bank. Riley Stransky.
Hello, everyone. First, I just want to say thank you to everyone who was involved with the scholarship. It really means a lot that I was chosen as a winner, and I'm very honored. I plan to go to college at UVA and study kinesiology there. I hope to one day become a physical therapist and open my own practice and help people through that. And my most meaningful community service project has been volunteering at Explorer Park, helping them with Illuminates and put on that production. It's just been a really cool way to see the community and have, a fun event during Christmas that everyone can go to. And it really is an amazing and fun light show. So thank you all very much.
So on behalf of Pinnacle Financial Partners, we award you a $2,000 scholarship. Congratulations. Thank you.
Next, Betsy Bohan will introduce Hung Lamb.
I was pleased to be asked to introduce Hung Lamb, who was also one of the ones who took an English AP exam this morning, finished at 12, rushed over. But if you read about Hung Lamb, you would not be surprised. This young man is an all-around wonderful human being. He worked with the Special Olympics, tutoring, counseling, co-worship, parent translation, helping promote small business, and many more. He has done so much, and he cares about everyone. He also was on the football team, and he was their unsung hero. He did not play, but you know what he did? He supported the team. He said it takes a team to make winners. He also tutored students. He worked with the Special Olympics. If you're a teacher, you're very special, and that's someone who taught for 41 years. If you can teach another human being how to do something, people can do, but if you can teach someone else, that's what Tom has done. I'll let you tell, he will tell you where he's going to school and his favorite, whatever he did outside of school. And his check will be delivered by Sherry Dillon and Lori Baker Lloyd on behalf of American National Bank.
First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to the Kiwanis members of allowing me to have this opportunity to speak to y'all. It has been feeling great. Great to have this opportunity to speak to all of y'all. Rushed over from the AP exam, but I plan to attend the University of Virginia. Go lose. Computer science, possibly double majoring in business because I'm selected as a scholar at UVA, which is I don't have general education requirements, so I have more like academic freedom. And eventually, after college, I want to pursue like being a computer programmer for a large company, get a high-paying job, support my parents. That's great. And one meaningful volunteer experience I have been involved in recently is tutoring. I think that I've been tutoring here and there since 10th grade and 11th grade. More recently, I joined the track and field team. And then one day we started doing study holidays where we used to get our grades up, opportunity to do classwork during practice hours, Mondays and Fridays. One of my coaches came up to me and since I'm the highest performing student on the team, he recommended me to, go out, help these students, and I took the challenge. Ever since, I've been loving it. I think tutoring for someone and teaching them the topic completely, them knowing it, and put a smile on their face, and put a smile on my face. I think that's why it's very meaningful to me. It's making me fulfilled. Thank you.
I'm Sherry Dillon, Lori Baker Lloyd, and on behalf of American National Bank, we present you with $2,000.
Thank you.
Now, Reed Kessler will introduce Loud Land. Loud goes by Chris.
Good afternoon. My task here is to introduce Chris Leon. Chris is not his given name. It turns out Chris is an immigrant. He arrived in this country with some of his family when he was 8 years old. Chris didn't speak English, and I think none of his family did either. He now has a family of 8 here in Roanoke. He has older and younger siblings. His mother and father and his older brother all work in various parts of the sushi industry. Chris helps his brother more that his brother can get his business off the ground than to put money in Chris's pocket. By the time he was a freshman at Fleming, he was identified as having potential to be a wrestler. Now, Chris had never wrestled before, but he said, well, that sounds like something I might enjoy. The season went along, he started winning matches. The end of the season came around, he was invited to the district tournament, did well there, got invited to the regional tournament, did well there, got invited to the state tournament. That ended well and would be the state runner-up in his weight division. This was 9 months. 9 months after first being introduced to the sport. I'm sure his coach was looking forward to Chris competing in his sophomore, junior, and senior years. Chris decided that his schedule included his academic pursuits, helping his brother and family, would necessitate that he only be involved in one sport. He chose soccer. And although I think he never received state recognition, the Fleming team never won the state championship. He became an obvious essential part of his soccer team and leader of that unit. He's, like all of these students, an accomplished student. His grade point average is something like 4.04. His current studies include advanced placement of literature and composition. Remember, he heard his first English words when he was 8. AP government and AP environmental science. In the process of his interview, we asked them to give us some words that he thought described himself. And he said diligence, optimism, and outgoing. I think the diligence has been already testified. His optimism has shown that here as an immigrant, he is now at the point of aspiring to attend one of the major universities of this state. He'll tell us more about that momentarily. I found to be outgoing and engaging in his interview, and you'll perhaps have the opportunity to judge that characteristic for yourself. My pleasure, and with enjoyment, I introduce you to Chris Leon.
Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Lalo, but I go by other names. And I'm a senior student at Roanoke High School. And I want to start off by saying thank you to Kiwanis for this opportunity to be part of the scholarship winners. The scholarship will help me with my basic needs such as books, food, etc. at the University of Virginia. And further assist me in my studies in this place. I've lived in Roanoke for a little over 8 years, and one of my favorite community services that I've been part of is serving my church as the lead singer. Seeing everyone singing and smiling is my favorite part of being the lead singer. However, I wouldn't be here and none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for God above. And once again, thank you to Kiwanis Club and its member for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Chris and Jennifer are $2,000 scholarships presented by the Roanoke Kiwanis Club and will be presented by our president, Vince Spiker.
Congratulations on your success. We welcome you. Thank you.
Does anybody feel like an underachiever yet? So now I'll have the pleasure of introducing Kane Metzger. Kane, if I can. Kane is a senior at Cave Spring High School and has been an outstanding student both at Cave Spring and Roanoke Valley Governor School. I can't quote his weight on average, but I don't know if this will ever be looks like anymore. He had it out on a year or something. He's active at numerous clubs at his school. He's for the Student Advisory Council, Young Life, and Cave Spring Soccer Team. He received a congressional appointment for the Naval Academy. Not going there, but tell you a little bit more about his plans here at the Senate. He's got held by a very high esteem by all those around him as a position of huge responsibility. Since he got his driver's license, he walks up his church. That's a few miles away from his home every night. I hope that they would trust that somebody and they weren't finding a man, and he definitely is. He's going to tell you a little bit more about himself now.
Hello, I'm Ken Professor. I would like to
shows my extreme gratitude and thankfulness for the opportunity to be recipient for one of the Kiwanis Awards. I plan on attending Virginia Tech for engineering in the fall. I want to be an engineer, but I want to use my hands. I like building things and crafting. Wood shop is one of my favorite classes at my high school. My favorite community service project was actually with the soccer team. My previous soccer head coach knew the importance of giving back to the community. And so he set up several rescue mission trips where the soccer team would come and we would bag and box different food and other necessity items for those in need during the pandemic. And we would organize and pass them out. We would see all these people come through. And it really just brought the team closer together and showed us how other people live and gave us compassion for those people. And it was just a really amazing experience that I got to share with my fellow teammates and coach. And yeah, I would like to thank you again for this amazing.
He's also the recipient of a $2,000 award from Kiwanis, Roanoke Kiwanis, and be presented by President Dick.
Yeah, and once again, Blue, I do feel so much like an underachiever here. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your success. Do well at that.
Now, Peter Johnson will introduce Leah Dillon.
Thank you. I am pleased to introduce Leah Tillman. Leah is a senior at Hidden Valley High School. In reviewing her high school transcript for the past 4 years, there were no grades other than A's, and she was absent for 2 days in those 4 years. That explains why she has a grade point average of 4.19. At school, Leah is a member of the tennis team. She was chosen for the soprano section of the All Virginia High School choir, and she's worked her way up to co-captain and section leader of the marching band color guard. At St. John Lutheran Church, she's enjoyed participating in 2 summer mission trips to Tennessee and South Carolina, working with Habitat for Humanity. These experiences led her to seek the position of mission coordinator for St. John's Youth Group, organizing the youth of her church to serve a number of local area organizations for a week this summer. Now I'll let Leah take a little bit.
First, I just want to say thank you so much to the Kiwanis Club for this opportunity. It really means a lot to me, especially this scholarship coming from the Kiwanis Club, which prides itself on community service, which is something I'm very passionate about. I will be attending Virginia Tech for architecture. My biggest dream is to graduate with my architecture degree and then move on to be able to designing houses for affordable housing for those in need. My favorite community service opportunity that I've had was last year on a summer mission trip to Columbia, South Carolina. It was there that I worked with Habitat for Humanity, and I got to build a house for someone in need, and that was just such a cool opportunity to be able to be a small part of such a big thing as building someone's home that they're going to live in with their family for many, many years. And that was just super rewarding to me. So thank you.
Leah is the winner of our $3,000 in-line scholarship and also be presented by our president.
Congratulations on your success. Thank you very much.
Now, Jackie Bledsoe will have the honor of introducing Miles Wilson. Come on.
Good afternoon. It is indeed my pleasure to introduce Miles Wilson. I don't even know where to start. In addition to receiving 17 honors and awards during his high school years at William Clement, he co-founded an organization called STRIDE, STRIDE, which is an acronym for Steps Forward, Restoring Inspiring Needs Every Day. Amazing. And during the COVID pandemic, school lockdown, Miles never wanted to stay idle. So he started his own clothing. Yeah. And he made the game time to start. He screened the name on t-shirts, shorts, hats, all kinds of clothing, hoodies, and sales took off. And at last count, he made and shipped over 2,000 pieces of clothing. Okay, and somehow he found time to serve as the president of student council, captain of the varsity basketball team 2022 to present, captain of the JV football team from 2019 to 2021. You see where I'm going with this? He wears me out saying it. Did I mention that he's also very goal oriented? I'm going to let him tell you where he's been accepted, what his career goals are. He's very goal oriented.
Good afternoon, everybody. I first like to thank God for being ahead of my life and always watching me go on my journey. Secondly, I'd like to thank you all for awarding me with this scholarship, and not only myself, but also my fellow peers for this scholarship. We all really appreciate it. This fall, I'll be attending the University of Virginia and studying mechanical engineering with a minor in entrepreneurship. My goal is to become a mechanical engineer and to continue growing my brand, Anytime Clothing, and also starting any other brand that I'm trying to well, college. But yeah, the community service project that this is starting to start organization. I started it last summer. Me and my girlfriend were able to we both decided that we wanted to figure out a way to give back to the community, and we got together and contacted some of our peers. So we got about 10 to 15 people who would show up, and we've been able to volunteer as a rescue mission, made over 1,500 meals and helped out that way. We volunteered at the 555 program, which teaches middle schoolers about engineering and how that's a field that they can pursue when they get to high school and college. We also been able to just help out with the morning with Santa, just to seeing little kids smile and see Santa when they say. But just also just trying to give back to the community when we can. Thank y'all.
Miles is the winner of the $5,000 Franklin Award, and also being presented by Ben. Before everyone runs it all, we'd like to get a group picture with all their recipients at the end. Don't rush on.
Miles, congratulations on all your achievements. I'm very impressed. Do well at tech.
Right. Yeah, thanks again to all our recipients and their family guests for being with us here today. Again, we would like to get a group photo before you take off, so we can we have a Kiwanis website that will be posted to, and we'll try to get your picture into the Roanoke Times. We'll submit that there as that been as whether or not they publish photos, but we'll do the best we can. And our webmaster Michael Rock also wanted to be promoting the meeting is recorded because we do it on Zoom, and a link for that will be on our website. I'll send that out to all the recipients in case you want to share with some family members or anybody that wasn't here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Great. Thank you. Great kids, great students, tremendous leadership, and my great pleasure. Steve has agreed to take on this challenge for yet another year. And yes, we all do feel very much like underachievers at this point. We do have a few minutes. If there are any brag bucks, I'll open it up for brags. Bruce Swanson, anybody else?
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. I'm a little disappointed that one student is going to my alma mater, North Dakota State University. Maybe next year. So as we were riding the elevator, I met Randy, correct, Randy? And then I said, oh, the Nicely family, and he goes, yeah, my brother, my famous brother is here too. Ken Nicely, and you are the superintendent of schools? And I'll do that. Verifying that. And I'm getting more phone calls from Ken Nicely than anyone else. I believe you're the one who does the call to the county schools. Oh, Chuck Weinberger does. Oh, it's Chuck Weinberger. So it's either one of the Weinberger brothers or one of the Nicely brothers. But this would be my message of the day from one of those officials at school. A friendly reminder to all your students, you need to get back to class as soon as possible. Thank you so much.
Hey, I just wanted to shout out to the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs, SPHLJ.
Quick brand for the colonels that are in the house. A 1972 Army graduate, welcome those scholarship recipients. And also to congratulate our superintendent, since she's in the audience, on being awarded the Virginia Superintendent of the Year.
I'm Tom Miller, Chairman of the Sponsorship Committee. I would like to thank Randy and Pinnacle Financial and our two wonderful Kiwanis ladies over here from American National Bank for sponsoring a portion of the awards for this program. I have another sponsorship check that I'm giving to John Montgomery right now, and I have a $20 bill. It's hard to live in Roanoke and be a Wahoo. Today it's worth it.
Long Dragon, granddaughter of Emerald Hampton, graduated from East Carolina graduate school, and also getting married this weekend. So we're going to stay mad. Thank you.
I'm John Montgomery, and I'm on two brags. One is on workers today. I saw Case Spring High School represented the Shive and alums, and also the University of Virginia. Tom credited UVA already, but it's nice to see UVA prepare so well. The second brag about relates to a death this week of the singer Gordon Lightfoot. I happen to be a fan of his from my young years. I guess he was 84 and passed away and came on the scene about 50 years ago, 55 years ago. Many of you are familiar with Gordon Lightfoot. I was sad to learn of his death, but I was gratified to learn that his first breakthrough was winning a competition sponsored by Kiwanis. And those of you that are non-committed in our club, like David Bowers, will remember that Kiwanis helped you along the way.
Steve, we brought to brag on Milton Hardy Sr. for obvious reasons. See? And J.C. Taylor for after 35 years of playing various charity games that he gets me into for money, I finally won $25. J.C., you're great.
Great guys again. And I just wanted to say again, what a pleasure it is to be able to read the applications and interview these outstanding young people who have applied for scholarships from the Kiwanis Club. It really is makes one feel optimistic that there are young people out there who can establish goals, attain those goals, reset new goals. Every time I get finished with this process, I think that, if there are kids like this out there, we here in the valley are going to be okay, as is our state and country. I'd like for you all to again congratulate today's award.
And again, as someone who graduated in the top 1,083 of my high school class in 1984. Congratulations to all of you. Just a quick thing about brand bucks, what we just did for $2. Any Kiwani can come forward and brag about whatever it is they choose to brag about. The proceeds go to the Kiwanis Foundation of Roanoke, which again helps support our service budget, which again helps support things like scholarships and other community activities and grants. And with that, if there's nothing else for the good of the cause, I say we're adjourned.